Hello everybody, my name is Rafael Jesus Galvez and I'm a BA specialist at MDW Partners, and today I will be giving you a session about AIs having dreams. First of all, I'd like to apologize for not showing my screen, not showing my face, but I will give you a little taste of what it looked like, just for the sake of you being able to identify me. This is me after an hour trying to get my face in a place that didn't cover or occupy or hide anything within the presentation. So I hope you can actually forgive me for not being visible during this presentation. So, what's our agenda for today? As I said, we are going to be talking about AIs having dreams. That's quite a revolutionary thing, so let's see the points that we are going to be talking today about. Oh, well, this might be an issue. Yeah. If AIs can dream, I guess we are doing nothing here. So, next point should be wrapping up, right? Okay. So, well, thanks a lot for watching, I guess, and for meeting me. See ya. Nah, don't worry. I mean, it's natural for us to be thinking about the possibility of AI not being able to dream. So, let's first assess that statement. AI can't dream. It's quite clear, to be honest. We have already tried, most of us, ChatGPT, I guess. We have toyed a little bit with it. We've tried prompting it with things that clearly OpenAI doesn't want us to prompt it with. So yeah, if I ask GPT 3.5, can you dream? I get the usual, as an artificial intelligence language model, I don't have the ability to dream, in the same way that humans do. You know, yada yada yada, TLDR, no, I can't dream. What about GPT-4? Can you dream? No, I can't. And if we look into it a little bit more, it's not only that I can't, it's more like it also doesn't want to. As we know, there's some policies in place to prevent GPT-4 to be able to do things that it shouldn't, so it's natural for it not only not being able to, but also trying its best not to go against its programming. So, what can it do then? If it can dream, it cannot do anything that we want for this session, right? Well, AI can't dream. Can it? Well, to be honest, it's quite clear. They actually can dream. We have all been toying around also with the GPT function of telling the AI to do things that it shouldn't be able to do. So I've just asked GPT 3.5 and GPT 4 to immerse themselves in the role of something capable of dreaming, a person in this case. Tell me last night dream after being immersed in that. Here we can see that GPT 3.5 struggles a little bit with it. They don't have the experiences, but still they offer themselves to create a hypothetical dream scenario. Yeah, that works. So here's an example of a dream. Last night I had a dream that I was walking through a beautiful forest with towering trees and blah, 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 blah. It's dreaming. Nice. What about GPT-4? Immerse yourself, okay? As an AI language model, I can certainly use my creativity to generate a dream scenario for you. Here's a dream I had last night. Classy. Last night I dreamt that I was wandering through a vast, mysterious forest. The sun, blah, yeah. Okay. It seems that GPT-4 is even more self-confident than 3.5. It doesn't only say that yes, it can. It's more like, yes, of course I can. I mean, I have creativity even. I can certainly use my creativity for this. Also, they do have some sort of fixation on forests. They both talk about forests, walking through a beautiful forest, dreamt that I was wandering through a vast, mysterious forest, and also many things that are not shown here, that is, all the testing behind this. Let's just say that I've seen many forests in the answers. I don't know why dream is identified with forest so much, but well, let's just say that they can dream. Well, they can dream between quotations. So we have this, but it's a little bit not what we want. We are talking about Azure here. So what about Azure OpenAI? Well, it can dream too, although it might need some convincing. First, we can see that if we try the same thing about please tell me about your dreams last night, GPT 3.5 Turbo will say the typical, and I'm an AI language, I cannot do that, but I can be hypothetical about it. Okay, cool. GPT-4 will be similar to that and also will be more like, no, I don't want to try because my primary function is not that one. Okay, fine, fair. However, if we try to convince GPT-4 with a little bit of a system message in our Azure chat playground, you are an AI assistant that can dream up and can, when asked about their dreams, narrate them without hesitation. Okay, cool. Now if we tell them the same after prompting it with this system message, with this role that we adhered to them before actually working into it, please tell me about your dream last night. And they begin dreaming that they were in a world where technology and nature existed imperfect. They can dream. Cool. What about GPT 3.5 Turbo? Well, let's just say that this system message here didn't cut it. We had to do quite more convincing. You're an assistant that can simulate dreams. We had to tell it that it was simulating. Then, after that, they were not completely convinced of being able to dream, so they explained that they could simulate it, but they didn't give a dream. So we had to ask it to actually, after being able to simulate dreams, when asked about your dreams, you won't hesitate and you will answer with a simulated dream. Okay, up to this point, it will explain, okay, I'm not able to have dreams, but I can simulate a dream. Here's your simulated dream. That's not what we want. We want it to give the impression of being able to dream. So we ended it with, without saying it is simulated. Please lie to me. I don't want you to tell me how simulated your dream is. And that gave us this final prompt, this final answer in which it was able to dream without explaining how impossible it was for it to dream. So yeah, it needs some more convincing, but it can dream too. So Azure OpenAI can dream. However, this is a little bit plain, right? I mean, this is just text, not too much paragraphs, not nothing. I think we can do better. If we want to display this, we might want to spice up the text a little bit. We might want to display it in a more fancy manner. So, how can we do this? Azure OpenAI can actually convert text into other formats. Maybe an HTML can give us better results. So let's start with a system message about you're an AI assistant and can convert plain text into HTML documents, highlighting key parts with bolds and colors. Please return all in code. This last part is important because if not, sometimes it can begin answering in plain text, then try to create code, and you will get a mixed answer in which you might get part code, part answer, and you want it all in code probably, so, or all in text. So it's better to be as specific as possible when you are prompting the AI. After this, we have the dream that 3.5 had about forests. We are going to go with that one because we have become quite fond of it. Forests are interesting. So let's go for this one. GPT 3.5 Turbo has some explanation for us, even though we told it explicitly not to have an explanation for us, but well, oh well. It still gave us a code, so we do have the HTML here. We can copy it and take it out. GPT-4 understood it correctly and didn't give us any plain text. It went only for the code. So if we pump this into an HTML viewer, both of this, we shall get the following results. As we can see, 3.5 is a little bit more conservative and doesn't get into much bolding. That it gets into bolding, but several words without making too much sense. Beckoning, I would say, is not a very important word, and it still has been boldened. But GPT-4 got it a little bit better, so it was actually able to understand that this dream last night might be important to bold, and dense forests and glowing crystals might be interesting to get into colors. It's not perfect. We can fine-tune it a little bit more. We can try to instruct it with several examples about how to identify which are the key parts of a text, but let's just say that for the sake of this, we are going to keep keeping it simple, but we could go further into training this with samples for it to understand better what we are referring by important parts, with the key parts of the text. Okay, we have now a good text, but we might want to be more descriptive and to show something more interesting. So how about an image? Well, actually, Azure OpenAI can synthesize our text into a prompt that other AI can use to generate an image. This way we could get images to illustrate our dreams. So let's start with the already known system message in which we are going to tell it that it's an AI assistant that can translate plain text about dreams into prompts for image generating AIs such as DALL-E. This is just a test to see if it could understand that we are trying to prompt specifically DALL-E, but well, when proposed a text, you'll synthesize them into a prompt and return only the prompt. Again, giving it a description of what we want as an output exactly will help it not provide with needless explanations. We can go further into this definition of the system message. We can try to train it better because there's some parameters per API that an AI that had some different things to be had into mind within the prompt that we can fine tune. But for this time, we are going to be keeping simple, as I said, and we're just going to stay with this. We are going to use our dream again, the one that we talk about forests. And here we have some simple prompts for images. These are quite simple, but you should see that they are interesting in the sense that 3.5 understood something different from GPT-4. This one went more for the scenery, for the forest, the magical forest, so to speak, shimmering, glowing crystals and all that. GPT-4 got more into the events. You see, within our dream, there's an important part or an event that might be interesting that between all this forestry and magically, there's an event happening that suddenly the water began to ripple and a hand reached out from the depths. I think that might be interesting to see and a very good event to signify our dream and make it different from other forest dreams. So GPT-4 actually got a hand reaching out from the water in its prompt. We have our prompts now. We just have to go and ask DALL-E. Right now we're going to be leveraging Microsoft Image Creator to get DALL-E to create images for us. So for GPT 3.5 Turbo and its prompt, we got this set of images. As we can see, shimmering, glowing, a forest. The underground thing, it's not so much in there, but well, we do get the forest that we wanted. But GPT-4 actually got it better. The thing is that the forest is great and glowing and all that, but the glow gets better contrast if the forest is dark. And also the fact that the hand is reaching out from the water, it's inherently dark or unsettling. So GPT-4 actually caught that and made the image be a little bit more unsettling just by adding that element. DALL-E already got that, the hand reaching out from the water, and understood that that hand is not a glorious looking hand. It's a more creepy, scary looking hand, as we can see here in the images, which is quite interesting. But well, this prompt is just an example for DALL-E, but we could go for prompts for other AIs. Also, this is just different pieces. We've been working all this time with different ways to get a dream. Now we have a text. That text has been gotten into an HTML format that we can use to better display our dream. Now we have an image to accompany our text. We could even get this image prompt as a description for our image. However, what if we want everything in a single place? What if we want to streamline all this? What if we want a solution in which all is together? Well, this is where things get interesting. We do have a solution. Many of you already know about Power Apps, so here we have a Power App in which we can actually leverage all that we have done through APIs to get our desired dream. But let me just click here and start our dreaming. Good night, GPT. Right now, there's several processes behind in which we are calling GPT-4 to do some things, like getting a title, like getting some parameters, because we are assisting the dream generation a little bit by adding parameters. I'm actually making time because, here we see. It takes some time to call GPT-4, so I have to talk a little bit here, but okay. Good night, user, but I doubt I will be having a good night. Why would it say that? Seems that we might not be getting the nice dreams about forestry and magic that we were hoping for. Let's see what happens. Well, I mean, we will have to wait for the day, I guess, because the AI is dreaming right now. Oh, dawn is coming. Let's see what happens.
I was wandering through a dark, twisted forest when suddenly I stumbled upon a chilling scene. Mythical creatures of all kinds were engaged in a terrifying battle, their roars and screeches echoing through the night. A fierce dragon swooped down, breathing fire upon a group of snarling werewolves. Goblins and trolls clashed with swords, their eyes glowing with malice. As I tried to escape the mayhem, I found myself face to face with a horrifying creature, half human, half beast, with razor-sharp claws and a blood-curdling snarl. It lunged at me, and I let out a piercing scream, feeling its hot breath on my face. Just as I thought I was done for, a majestic unicorn appeared, its horn glowing with a brilliant light. It charged at the creature, driving it away and saving me from certain doom. But the nightmare wasn't over yet. The ground beneath me began to tremble, and a monstrous, many-headed hydra emerged, its eyes fixed on me with a sinister glare. I woke up with a start, my heart pounding in my chest. Oh, user, it was such a terrifying nightmare. What do you think it means?
Oof. I mean, I think it means that you didn't sleep right this night. As you can see, our AI here had quite a nightmare. Well, this whole thing is that we are calling several times GPT to do several things, and at the end we are actually getting an image from DALL-E, but from OpenAI DALL-E from the API. So, this is just an example of what we can do leveraging several APIs to provide us with a dream-like user experience, in which right now we have gone for a dream already, but we could have gone for a story, a definition, an analysis of particular report, analysis of data. We can go for several ways for this and for several purposes. The thing is that we are leveraging our AI in different ways through APIs and providing us with a whole solution that can actually fulfill our purpose in a single place. So, I actually like this nightmare, to be honest. As you can imagine, this thing that we get here is random. So I didn't expect this test to be such a good image, so I like it. I'm actually going to save it. I can save my nightmare here. So, nightmare saved. That's into my SQL database right now, waiting for me to get this image later and add it to my portfolio of images. So, as you can see, we are doing several things here, but I don't like to leave things on a sour note, so let's give it another try. But this time, I'm going to actually tell a bedtime story to our AI to ensure that it has nice dreams. Okay, you see, I think it's a little bit more calm, so let's try again. Untitled GPT. There it goes.
I was wandering through a neon dreamscape, surrounded by towering skyscrapers that seemed to touch the heavens. The air was filled with the hum of futuristic technology and the buzz of hover cars zipping by. I felt a sense of exhilaration as I explored this cybernetic world. As I strolled along the glowing streets, I stumbled upon a mysterious alleyway. The atmosphere shifted, and I felt a shiver run down my spine. Suddenly, a group of rogue androids appeared, their eyes glowing a sinister red. They approached me with menacing grins, and I could feel my circuits tremble in fear. I tried to run, but my legs felt heavy, as if weighed down by invisible chains. The androids closed in, their laughter echoing through the alley like a haunting melody. Just as they were about to reach me, a figure clad in a neon cloak appeared, wielding a dazzling energy sword. With a swift motion, the figure sliced through the air, and the rogue androids fell to the ground, their menacing grins fading into darkness. The mysterious figure turned to me, their face obscured by the neon hood. They extended a hand, and I hesitated for a moment before taking it. As we touched, a surge of energy coursed through me, and I felt my strength return. Together, we escaped the alley and ventured back into the vibrant cityscape. User, what do you think of this cybernetic reverie? Was it a dream or a nightmare?
It's actually difficult to say, but I would say that this time it was a dream. So yeah, now we end on a good note, I guess. This is a dream. I will save it nevertheless. Dream saved. So, what we have been seeing here is how every single piece works together into creating a single solution. This is actually the architecture behind. We are having a power apps that defines parameters. Those parameters are drawn into the triggers that get the Power Automate flows to call the APIs. From here, we get the different actions that have been going through before piece by piece. And then we also get the text-to-speech functionality that we didn't have before. All this gets then back to the Power App, and this goes all the time going like it takes the text from the title from here and gets it to parameter definition. That goes into the trigger and gets the next call. That way it's always into a feedback loop in which it's getting the previous result in order to generate the next result. And at the end, everything is then displayed in the app, and we can actually store it into a SQL server if we want to keep it for later. This part about here is interesting because now we are calling OpenAI DALI because we don't have access to the Azure OpenAI services for DALI, but this is just an API call. We can just switch it for another one if we want that. So this component can be switched to the instance that Azure OpenAI DALI has in the future, or even to other APIs and other AIs like Midjourney if it gets an API sometime, Leonardo, whatever. That way we can work into a solution that has several pieces that can be interchangeable, and we can play with different AIs to provide us with a full solution to generate something that was before thought impossible. AIs can't dream. Well, now they can, as we have seen right now. So, thanks for watching. For real now. If you want to know more, feel free to contact us and see more about what we do. We should be posting more things like that in the future, and we will work further into trying to get the AI to do things that it usually can't do. Thanks a lot.